In a courtroom bright and bold, and he marks the stories he told. With a finger pointed high, he's the ace, the reason why. Through objections loud and clear, truth and justice always here. From the witness stand to the judge's chair, and he's ready beyond compare. And he marks in Phoenix Wright, fight for truth with all his might. Meet a spirit and mind up by his side. Together they'll turn the tide. He's defending the accused, while baby Gumshoe is confused. Solve the case, bring the truth to light with Andy Marks and Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright.
I don't know if Gant's necessarily the murderer. I mean, Gant's probably the murderer. Right? I mean, guys, we're all in agreement that Gant's probably the murderer, right? Now you're 60% done? Oh, brother. I could probably go another hour. Jesus Christ, how much time is there left on this fucking trial? I thought you were fucking joking. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Alright, well, we just read that. I'm not reading it again. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dart killings. Sounds like everyone heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dart convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dart's last victim was Prosecutor Near Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But why did you have to do... What did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neal was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. Aww. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. Wow. The plot thickens even more. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. He was running from Gant. He was running from Gant, I'm calling it. I don't know what was going on. Just then Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. Permanent picture. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must have been why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted the guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes. But I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was giving false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. So that's why he has such a reputation. Everybody knows that there was evidence forged. And like, he just fucking took the evidence. And he didn't know that it was forged. Rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean, it was all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must have not been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that the crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. This just took such a fucking deep turn, man. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. Must have been 14, that's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I want to be a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. There's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across the elevator. Across from the elevator? Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective. I'd better have another talk with her. Interesting. It seems everything is somehow related in this case. What was it labeled again? SL9 incident? Yes, the name of everyone connected to this trial is listed in here. All that's left is to figure out just what role everyone plays in this case. If we search hard enough, I think we'll find our answers. What exactly did or didn't Lana do? I'm not sure I want to know everything. We owe our entire success in the courts to this tape. At first I thought it was a joke, but it turned out to be a goldmine of evidence. I counted a total of 5 clues in it. It also gave the blue badger some publicity. Of the negative sort, that is. That fingerprint was left on the locker when Marshall was stabbed in the bloody coat. I guess that blood wasn't Mr. Goodman's after all. Nope. Just that overly zealous patrolman. So there wasn't a murder at the police department if I would say in the end. Whew. What's gonna happen to Officer Marshall now? That jar's pretty fragile. It looks like it's about to break apart. What do you mean, about to? It's already broken. I mean, again, the piece was found in Detective Goodman's evidence locker. That means this is somehow related to that other incident. Okay, I think we can move on now. There's only one number left to check out. That's right. We now know the other members aren't related to the murder. 777777. An executive officer. 77777777. I believe there's one too many sevens. Can't find out whose number this is unless we have some incriminating evidence. That's going to be hard to dig up by tomorrow. Guys, I'm telling you, it's Gant. He's the only one that hasn't popped up in this case so far. Think of all the pieces. Maybe it's not going to be Angel. Angel's probably going to factor back in somehow, though. But he's the only name that hasn't popped up. Now he's the chief of fucking police. Lana? Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana. Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago? And how the SL9 incident was a reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office? That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know that, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At least that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. That's a fucking insane line. Well, all that drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. Look at that fucking creep. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then. We still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant, he was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Oh, really? Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're the chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes, So you could use the experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 incident was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command at the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation was led by Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. Even have the same office? We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That's when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Joe Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the crime scene was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down and then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, I see Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma and carried her out of the room and just held her. Can't blame her after all that. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence, huh? I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident, just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to the extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. Maybe we shall. Can I present anything? Can I show her any evidence? Alright. I'm trying to help you, dumb bimbo. Let's go to criminal affairs. See if we can find anything over here. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. Chief of Detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we look for some other people to talk to? Right. Could come back here later. Whenever, I think we're gonna go until either 12:30 or whenever we finish collecting evidence for this day, whichever one comes first. Take these glasses off. We're not in court right now. Hey, howdy, Bambino. Oh, Mr. Marshall. Never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Casera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambino? Should've known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be a spec cactus. Say, where are you heading? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go into the evidence room today, partner. Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do you prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about the trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean the switchblade with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound on the victim sustained. What does that mean? That means there's a good chance that the knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that finally Gee, I wonder what was the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? The case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that SL9 had left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the king of prosecutors? What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. That day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning. By nightfall there was thunder. Can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered. The evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes of that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. The star was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough to not be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. There we go. The investigation led Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office. Excuse me. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Camp, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, I must have said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret's too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure that I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gann. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Aww. Adios, Bambina. Oh, that's sad. He didn't really... Man, that's fucked up. He didn't really do anything, like, I could... He didn't do anything wrong. I wonder if Angel Star's here. No one's here today, not even the Star. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. There must be where the detectives are. Well, we were proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee? He took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago, I guess we'll have to come back later. Okay. So where am I supposed to be going? Okay. This place is always empty, but today it's deserted. It's supposed to be everyone busy solving crimes. Oh, you're looking for the others? They're all in the conference room. Thanks. He actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision on what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is a word you usually use for those. Sir? We'd like to have a look around Mr. Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to Chief's office. Alright, let's check this out. What the fuck is this? What is this office? What is this office? What the fuck is this place? I really need to... Steve, can you tell me what voice I was doing for him? Because obviously we're gonna have to dish it right back out. Whoa, where am I? in the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out the pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten, likely close to the oil tycoon. I feel like it was something like that, but I feel like it was like an impression of somebody. It was an impression of someone. I remember, yeah, it was a Louisiana guy. Yeah, it was kind of like this, I think. Oh no, Foghorn Leghorn. It was Foghorn Leghorn. Yes, yes. Let's go. Let me screenshot that shit so I don't forget it. I said. Listen here now. It was like Louisiana Foghorn Leghorn. Let's go. I love how we both got that at the same time. I remember it was like something southern, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Let's go. Yeah, because he looked like Foghorn Leghorn. That's what it was. Or like some kind of like fucking big ass bird. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. What are you doing? I never could remember where C was. Hey. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gan. Put that paper he was reading on his desk. Ho! So, righto. Have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I see. I can't appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? I said 2 years ago. 2 years have passed since that incident. But how time flies. How time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? It looks like it's broken there too. That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it though. We're gonna have to look at that again in a minute. Anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so go out. Let's go out together. Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case was long since been over. There's no need to investigate it in here anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Let's hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Fucking creep. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with Seems like that case isn't over with just yet, after all. What do you mean? You can't deny a request to search the crime scene? That means there must be a reason you didn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside Chief's office. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, either of you see Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago, now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. So why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there's been lots of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him. Excuse me. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those who with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies. Hey Dick, keep up the good work. Yes sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes sir. You gotta take me to that joint sometime, okay Dick? Yes sir. Seems like you don't have any problems with enemies. Yes, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, he took a picture of that file while the coffee was brewing. He seemed genuinely concerned about Mr. Edgeworth. Edgeworth. Well, did you find anything? The only evidence Doc left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean, when you killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me. Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was that girl. When he left the most incriminating evidence of all, well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere, okay? His powers and recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. Might jog his memory. Your Doc was 42 at the time of the crime. It was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take up serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit somebody with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed the man that witnessed the incident. The accident? Whoa, okay. Just keep going. He turned himself in. That's interesting. He seems to be a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. Oh, fuck. That crime was witnessed by someone, too. But luckily, Drake was arrested on the spot. Anyone else think that looks like the Mad Peacock? It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. Poor Emma. About this. Hey, Dad! There's a tag attached to it labeled SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, the knife's been locked away in the locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. And it was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that criminal piece of evidence was. When you showed me the knife, it all came back to me. What was it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. Yeah, not that knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he brought it. Plus, you had his fingerprints on it, too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where the broken tip was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It's found deep inside his stab wound. Did you match it to Dark's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask the chief again. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? What if I let a civilian in there? I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Interesting. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe's are the only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Something we could show him. Oh my god. Oh, a lost item report, huh? Very impressive, Detective. You knew what it was right off the bat. Well, I'm a master of misplacement, you know. Master? That's such a cool ring to it. The way I see it, if things are meant to be lost, then they're meant to be lost. There's a higher power at work here. Wow, higher power? Maybe I shouldn't let Emma hold any evidence. Okay. I've been studying on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. I think people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah. It was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose. Alana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty. That's the ID card record, isn't it? Yes, there's only one number here left to investigate at 4:20 p.m. The victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive office number. 777777. That's one too many sevens, Detective. Executive officer. I might just have a hunch. That almost made us lose the case today. What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstain on the evidence locker with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays. It would have saved us a lot of trouble if we hadn't guarded it so well. I have to admit, he's right though. Thanks to the blue badge, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15. Hey, that's it. That's the key to the prosecute. Okay, I think we did all this. This ID card belongs to Detective Goodman. You can do anything with these cards with... Someone's scared because you've been dropping your card, Detective Gumshoe. I forgot my secret number of that too. I'm scared of it myself. But I'm me after all. What can I do? Stay out of the conversation. What can I fucking... What can I show him that will make me let him... Okay, shot him 1, 2, 3, 4. You're like a mentor to me. Aww. He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your troubles. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus. Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that? About that jaw, I've seen it before somewhere. Maybe it's just one of those memories people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformed detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant? Where could I have seen that before? Come on! Come on! Come on! It's literally from the chief's office! Come on! Ugh! You're really starting to piss me off, Gumshoe. What the fuck can I show him? Hey, just brush some of that stuff. I could go around detecting blood traces myself. Oh, is that a new type? I've never seen that bottle before. Add 3 inches of your base height. Base height? Let me see that. Looming tall. New and improved growth formula? You mean this can't detect any blood traces? Well, it's not quite the same thing as luminol. So why did that lady at the counter have that smirk on your face? You gotta love Gumshoe. Hey, that's powder used for detectives. Friends. She did what? Are you okay, detective? Quick, run! Achoo! Why is he so mad? They say help. One time I took a nap on a bench with the wet paint. Why am I not gonna be comforted? Alright, do we just not have the evidence to show him? I'm so fucking stumped here. Okay, we did this. Let me move to another place, maybe. Okay. Maybe he has something. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is! It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here? You sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I'm about to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. That's another allegation to me. Cheer up, Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified? The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, and my responsibility as prosecutor in charge. And the fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep that kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, now this one. Seems like all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial? Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence seems too short. Most lists runs twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That's odd. That looks exactly like the paper that he was writing on. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I might not have been part of the... Neil Marshall knew too much. I just thought of something. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture? Something seems strange about it. Can you tell us something? Can you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this. Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out in the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes. Just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed a half year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to. Yeah, that's right. This picture was hanging on the wall at Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy... I knew it. I fucking knew it. There's a sword, and the sword's broken. They had like taken like the end of the sword off. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind this design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese style. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written in 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake? Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd. Halberd or halberd, I don't remember. He claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perspective. But then again, you've heard the story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, and the merchant was left speechless. And thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but in our nature, pursue matters to their conclusion, and even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. Yeah, they removed the sword. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? That you'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd removed from the award, abolished. He literally took it, but whatever. It's literally a murder weapon. Just want to see if maybe I could get one more thing out of him. Alright, maybe we could show, maybe we could go to Gumshoe now. Oh, somebody here now. Excuse me. Ah, here we go. Would either of you like a quarter-pound of roast beef? Miss Star? I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who stuck the cow's nipple to discover milk. So I never thought you'd go digging up on that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very same day of the evidence. The case was due to transferal. This can't be all attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Starr's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye? My sister? Best of the best were put on the SL9 incident. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. The legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. And that's why we're so shocked of how it turned out. You mean with the forging of evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. But still, it was obvious evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear while other items were kept secret. We don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much of an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana was always wanted to be a prosecutor. Is this Scumbag Steve's cap? Is that a Scumbag Steve cap? Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation while Lana's second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of crimes together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. Oh, is that so? He produced the most incredible evidence in cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes. There were rumors of him even back then. No one dare confront him though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes. Myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt like it was as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There's only one thing left for him to control, and then no one can stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? It is a little suspicious that a detective gets transferred over to prosecutor, and not only goes over to prosecutor, but is made that chief of the prosecutor's office. William Williams Williams YN Williams SYN. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her to change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thanks, Miss Star. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've ever been. A poppy seed rice. Okay, she's not gonna cooperate anymore. Maybe we should talk to Lana again? Okay, nothing there. Hopefully fucking Gumshoe's here still. Oh, you're back! You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files? I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you to the chief's office, period. He bit my neck on the line. That was the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we could do to make the detective change his mind. I mean, now we have... Hey, that's it! Oh no, 1 minute. Yeah, oh yeah! Everyone knows that! There was this dragon, yeah, that's it. Yeah, the thing for shields, see? It's not exactly the version we heard. Well, it sounds more exciting. Gets gory after the... Oh, come on. I thought that was a fucking thing. What else changed? What other pieces of evidence did we got? About this. Okay, we already did all this. Come on, what the fuck? Really starting to piss me off, Gumshoe. I did not get to do that. Thank God. I want to look this shit up. I just want to finish this day. come on! Starting to piss me off, Gumshoe. Who else can I talk to? There's something I have to give him, apparently. Victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. It got to be the only person that would come to that conclusion. I'm about to look this shit up. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. I would have never... Yeah, I just kind of cheated. I completely forgot to... Yeah. I wonder what he was writing before. It's kind of a spoiler alert. Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract them, I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out there in the window? No, he's fallen to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of... You're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. But, Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. The path I've walked haven't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. No one should ever forgive, and no one else should forgive me either. Oh no, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation, I wonder if I could use it for anything. There we go. There we go, that's our smoking gun. What's this crumbled up piece of paper? Uh-oh, here we go. No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Has he ever not been serious? I can't believe you pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence, but we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I made up my mind. But, here, take my ID card. You can't do that if someone found out. They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Man, this really has a finality to it, doesn't it? Alright, Detective, thank you. Alright, let's go look at this fucking guy's office and then head off for the day. Here goes Mr. Wright. Here goes Mr. Wright. Click. Beep. Don't press the fucking organ this time either. This was taken in his office, wasn't it? We're in! If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. I'm counting on you to bail me out. Eek! Gah! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card! Alright, can we look at this room? I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around for myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. Got a bad feeling about this. First and foremost. First and foremost. Because you never know, right? Alright, there's gonna be nothing up there. Wow, what do you fucking know? Well, this area must have been covered in blood. Is that from the incident? It must be. When Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Years have passed, so the reaction's kind of dull. So a murder really did take place here. I just find that very hard to believe that that's the only area covered in blood. Examine, court record. We have the fingerprints too, right? Oh wait, oh, we can't, like, use that at will, can we? Alright, let's just examine everything. This was taken on that day 2 years ago. The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here and went along with Chief Gant to question Doc. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think? This is Lana's desk. Sure is tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. There wasn't even any dust on it. Looks like someone's keeping it clean. Has Lana ever come back here? No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of our partnership. There were the stuff a legend's made of. Did he keep it in memory of her or memory of the crime? shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out before she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. There's a small picture frame on the left shelf. Hey! That's where Lana and I went to that theme park. Look at the giant window. Makes you crash through it. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside. This is the 15th floor. I know, I was just saying. Saying what? This is making detective. I've always dreamed of doing something like that. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. So as long as you don't go through, as long as he doesn't go crashing through that window when he gets fired. Don't say that. Let's look at this safe. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe? What wood is ripe with intrigue? That wood is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. Looks like a code is needed to enter in this panel, so open it. Come on, let's get them fingerprints. A 7-digit number. I think I might just know what it is. Do you know what it is? You know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date? I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Oh, man. Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 7777777. The final ID card on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 7777777, that ID number? I think you're 17 shy this time. This might only be one thing. That must only be one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Before we do that, let me look around first. Wow, look at the sides of the Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of, when we came here earlier. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. Yeah, he put that paper in his desk. Let's look at the paper first. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence. A list of evidence? In most cases, it runs twice as long, though. Look at the case name! Is this the other half of the evidence? I wonder what this was doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long? Yeah, that's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. We're going in for an all-timer, guys. We're going in for an all-timer. Steve, to recap you, we got into the chief's office. Miles was writing his letter of resignation when we ran into the office, and we showed that to Gumshoe, and he allowed us to come upstairs. Whatever, and now we're in the chief's office, and we opened his safe, and we're pretty much confirming that the ID number that was used to get into the evidence room was his. We opened the safe. We haven't figured out what is in the safe yet, but we just got a piece of... We found like that note that he was writing. It turns out that's an evidence list, but it's like half the size of regular evidence list. And Miles Edgeworth said the same thing. So we have two different pieces of these are probably two of the same evidence lists. Well, not two of the same. This is the other half of the list that they were trying to hide. It would appear so. Was ripped in half, so this part is all I've got. Look at that in a second. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor, these weapons. Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor? Do you know how many tax dollars must have to go into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 more cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh. Be careful what you say. Who knows? The chief might be hiding in this armor as we speak. I don't think he fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get out or get back out. Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary this guy can be. Alright, what's in the safe? Is there any money in there? How much did he have stashed away? Look, it's a... Come on, come on. Okay, so it's not the halberd, but it's the other shard. It's the other shard for the base. This is something that looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here too. A handprint! It's a piece of leather cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it? Yeah, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Ah, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? Is that all there was in the safe? Apparently so, it's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove that has something to do with the case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great, now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on, there has to be something we can show the detective. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? I remember when the three of us had put it back together. Ah, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. The last I saw Gant was kicking us out of his lair. I mean, office, yeah. Oh man, so you missed the entire conversation with Angel. Damn, you missed a lot. Yeah, I don't remember all of it, like, word for word. I will go back to the VOD. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards on the SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one. That was in the safe. Uh-oh. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Yes, assemble the fragments. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at that. But, no. Let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at it. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together, I'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here it goes. What is that, though? There, fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly had a piece of this jar in the safe. That's probably what he went into the room for. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached? It's different from the others. Man. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood! I don't get it! Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Yeah, let's go. I'll check it out this afternoon. Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of the list. What will this list be doing here? We better take a look more. Oh yeah, let's look at the list actually. Can we not look at the? What is this? Oh? This is a sketch. I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I'd better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, it's nothing. Why are your eyeballs moving around like that, Mr. Wright? Better not forget about this picture. Can we analyze anything else on here? If I present the fingerprint kit, I could probably get him to show me the other thing again. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. You want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. Alright, go to town. Jeez. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints you want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about the cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. That one was with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, what are your senses of humor? Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. Definitely gotta start getting off here in a minute. Interesting, wait a minute. That's definitely not Gantz. Emma? What? Oh, fuck. How can this be? You're gonna get off on Twitch? This is a hot tub stream now? Oh, yeah. What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Oh, man. Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be darks. No. No, that can't be. No. No. No, that's impossible. Stay. You, over here. What's going on here? Why are the kids' prints going inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Just keep this information from Emma for now. Here. Maybe you should hold on to this. Have we done everything in here? This organ sure looks like a sight to behold. Occasionally we hear him playing in the criminal affairs department. That's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th of an entirely different building. When the detective screws up, the detective calls him to his office, makes him listen to the organ for hours. What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul. After that, the detectives can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in their ears. So it's an instrument of punishment, literally. Well, aren't the chief's ears affected? Yeah, but this is genuine anyway. That's besides the point. This mark looks like some kind of flower. What is this? Stand out the insignia on the prosecutor's badge? Prosecutor's badge? Yeah, like the one hanging from your collar. What? They have badges too? It's designed to portray the severity of the punishment system. Now that you mention it, it does look all pointy and kind of painful. So Mr. Edgeworth never wears a badge? That's because he's a sharp dresser. A badge like that wouldn't go too well with his outfit. So sharp dressers don't need to wear any badges? I guess everyone just kind of lets it slide. I don't see how it's supposed to signify severe punishment. I feel like I'm missing something here. You can see it pretty far from 15 stories up. I'm gonna drop that suit of armor from here. At first the chief wanted to use stained glass for his windows. Really? Why didn't he? They say he changed his mind because you wouldn't be able to see the view. Oh. Stained glass or not, it's a huge window. I feel like I'm missing something. Have we looked at everything in here? Because obviously, like, this section would have ended, right? Like... Maybe... Let me just check for blood one more time. Or maybe... Temperate, right? Yeah, someone left behind. I'll stay in. It's really... Excuse me. Ah, fuck, I really have to start getting off here in a minute. I'm starting to get tired. What else is there to really examine? I want to finish this section. That much I do want to do. Let me check the room one more time for blood. Spray. So we got that, right? We already know that there was blood over there. You telling me there was no blood anywhere else in this office? That just doesn't seem real to me. Whew. Oh, it stopped him. The desk on the other side of the room, what was that? Was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone else using it now? No, sure. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. Oh, alright. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at his New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk. No one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who's in it here each and every morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. only come here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SO9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be. No. There's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh. What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's something to stop worrying about. It's gonna stop bothering you, pal. You don't have to just let it go at that. Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gan might be a suspect, do you? What? Right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gan. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There you go, ignoring me again. Well? Was there any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. That's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, you in the coat? Chief Gan! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. So I was walking to my meeting. I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective. You mean Misha? Now then, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat. Misha? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But sure. Now get out. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too then. Wait. You, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I like a word with you. But sir, I'm not a licensed scientific... You with the spiky hair, you're free to go. Mr. Wright... Oh, man. Look, pal. If I've ever told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but I knew it'd be like, if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about this all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try and smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. God, when is this fucking day gonna end? I'm getting tired. We got Detective Baby fired. That's sad as hell, right? First found Karma, now Gant. We're taking on the whole system. Oh yeah. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there's no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No. I think you're afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Well, Miss Guy? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Can you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would you try and hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name has never been mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. I just found this in a safe in the Chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. You know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Looks like the detention center is the last part of the section before the trial. Alright. Touche, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmise. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman? Or perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details. I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Wow. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk lock was broken. And I discovered that murder weapon while still inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident, serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another blade. And that would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then, she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Oh, fuck. The star, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be open again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. And Edward's exhaust by it. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and asked her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling. The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? Lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden and I needed help. He was the only person I knew I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He also had already stolen the ID card. But it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. Oh yeah, I love it. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call calls an incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial, there's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer? And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Ooh, man, we are in for some juicy stuff.
Phoenix Wright.